Hey guys, we made a video recently showing a bit of a tour of a Japanese shopping mall, and lots of people commented on that video and said they were surprised how much English there was in that shopping mall. And it is true, there was some English in that shopping mall. There was probably a sign that said toilet, and there was probably a couple of signs that said sale and bargain and things like that. There was also some Jipang-glish, so there was a shop called Starvations. So that's an English word, although not really English language, because it's not really communicating the meaning of that word to us. It doesn't really have a meaning in that particular case. It's just an English word being used for the name of a shop. But if you actually have a look at that video again, you will notice that there is a little bit of English, but the majority of it is really just Romaji, which is the Japanese word for Roman letters. And if you have a look, you'll notice that most of the words that are written in Roman letters are actually Japanese. So they're Japanese words that are written with the Roman alphabet, with the Roman letters. And there's also some others that are French. Some names of some shops there that are French. There's some names of some shops that are Italian. And that's pretty much the case across the board in Japan. Romaji was brought here originally by the, well, everybody brought it. You know, the first people here were Dutch and English and Spanish, and all those people use Romaji. So those of you who haven't traveled to Europe, we English-speaking people don't own our alphabet. It's actually shared with people from, well, recently, people from all around the world, really, but it was obviously Roman letters were actually started in Europe, and they're used by, you know, just about every language in the world now uses Roman letters to write their words, or at least partly, and Japan's the same. So even in Japan, quite often, particularly with names of things, business names or company names, you know, Toyota, Mitsubishi, Suzuki, Honda, usually they write the name in Romaji, just because it's an international language or an international alphabet now that everybody can read, including Japanese people. So it's also, I think, partly practical, but also partly just, it's just cool, you know, it's just cool and sort of international and cosmopolitan to use it. The same way if you go to Australia or lots of other countries, you'll see restaurants and cafes called, you know, Le Cafe and stuff like that. They'll use French and Italian names or words to make the cafe or the restaurant seem really cool. But in actual fact, the owner of the restaurant can't speak French and has no real idea, you know, but uses it because it's a good image. And it's the same as with the Romaji here. So when you come to Japan, you will see Romaji. You'll see town names, and you'll see, you know, all sorts of places with the name of the place written in Romaji. But then when you actually look at it, you realise that the actual what's written is actually Japanese. The word is Japanese. You know, Toyota is a Japanese word. Suzuki is a Japanese word. You know, Japan is a Japanese word, but it's written in Romaji. So that's what's really happening. It's not so much English. So with that in mind, if you have a look again at that video, you'll see that there's not really that much English going on there, but there is a fair bit of Romaji. So, you know, just a popular alphabet, basically. I'd imagine it's also a popular alphabet with sign writers, because, you know, 26 letters in the Roman alphabet, so it's much easier for a sign writer to write signs using the Roman alphabet as well, I'd imagine, than trying to find all the kanji. That must be pretty tricky with stickers and things to have, you know, 6 billion kanji in his box so he can write signs. But you know, you'll see it, and the same as with these videos where we're driving around, you know, you'll see that police car that just went past had police written on the side of it, which is an English word, but you know, the main part of it is that pretty well anybody that can read it. I think something to keep in mind, and the reason I'm putting this video on the japan-glish playlist is because it's a similar sort of idea to the japan-glish. It's not relevant. The Romaji isn't written for us. You know, the people who say, oh, you know, why don't they write it so that we can understand it properly when they're talking about japan-glish, you know. People say about the japan-glish, why don't they write it? The japan-glish isn't for us. It's not written for native English speakers. It's not written for foreigners. Most of the videos that we make, we go to places where there isn't usually any foreigners. So none of the Romaji you can see in any of my videos really has anything to do with communicating with foreigners, because usually there's no foreigners here. This area I'm in now, I've never seen a foreigner around here. So, you know, foreigners are irrelevant. It's just, it's the same as in Australia. They don't write Le Cafe on the cafe in Australia so the French people can understand it. You know, it's not why they're doing it. It's not why they're doing it, you know. They're just doing it because it's cool, or it's because, you know, it conjures a good image. And it's the same here. They don't write the Romaji for the foreigners. They don't write the japan-glish for the foreigners. It's not for us. It's not about us. It's not about us. So to the other English-speaking people, I'll tell you, it's disappointing to realise that we're not the centre of the universe. We don't own the Roman alphabet. We use the Roman alphabet, but we don't own it. You know, all those people in Europe and all the rest of the countries around the world that use it will be laughing right now and saying, yeah, that's right. Anybody that's been to Europe knows about this, has thought about this, you know. So anyway, yeah, just pointing this out, guys, that yes, there is a lot of Roman letters in Japan, but there's not a lot of English. Being a difference. So anyway, just a little thing. More videos coming soon.